Hello, welcome to our instructional video on Stormwater Best Management Practice Maintenance, a guide for property owners, businesses, homeowners associations, and property management companies. This video was developed by the Colorado Stormwater Center at Colorado State University, with funding support provided by the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment and the Urban Drainage Flood Control District. As Coloradans, we cherish our natural environment, and many of us spend our free time recreating on our natural waterways. However, uncontrolled urban stormwater has detrimental impacts to Colorado's waterways, including flooding, stream channel erosion, and pollution. Within the past 25 years, Colorado cities and towns have begun to require the construction of Stormwater Best Management Practices, or BMPs, on both public and private properties when they undergo development. These include properties such as churches, schools, businesses, subdivisions, and multifamily housing complexes. BMPs are constructed facilities designed to reduce stormwater flows and pollutants before discharging to receiving waters. In doing so, they help protect our lakes, rivers, and streams from the various negative impacts of urban stormwater. As with any type of engineered facility, BMPs require regular maintenance to remain operating properly. Without proper maintenance, BMPs will not function as intended, and the stormwater runoff generated from your property may result in damage to downstream waterways. In most cases, the responsibility of BMP maintenance lies on the property owner, homeowners association, or property management company. The responsibility of BMP maintenance is typically outlined in the development agreement for your property. In this video, we will present and discuss 4 simple steps that can be followed to develop and implement a proper BMP maintenance plan for your facility. The first step is to identify the location and type of BMP or BMPs on your property. The second step is to identify required maintenance activities for those BMPs. Third is to perform BMP maintenance activities, and the fourth step is to document and report maintenance activities. Step 1 is to identify the location and type of BMP on your property. To identify the location of BMPs, the best method is to obtain the plat maps for your property. If you don't have the plat maps readily available, they can be requested from your local municipality. On the plat maps, look for areas identified as drainage alignment or drainage easement. The area outlined will be the approximate location of the BMPs. Remember, there may be multiple BMPs located on your property, so make sure to review the entire plat map carefully. Here is another example where BMP locations are identified by the abbreviation DE, which refers to drainage easement. Notice that there are 3 different BMPs on this property. Unfortunately, plat maps only indicate BMP locations, and identifying the type of BMP may have to be done separately. There are many types of BMPs used in Colorado. We will briefly describe each of the BMPs to help you with BMP identification on your property. Extended detention basins are the most common BMP in Colorado. They are dry most of the time, but are designed to temporarily store stormwater runoff for 1 to 2 days after a rainstorm. During that time that runoff is stored in an EDB, pollutants settle out to the bottom of the basin. Wet ponds, also known as retention ponds, are man-made ponds that function like natural ponds. They contain a permanent pool of water year-round, and pollutants are also removed by settling. Constructed wetland basins are man-made wetlands designed specifically for stormwater treatment. They are easily identified by their typical wetland vegetation such as cattails and bulrush. Constructed wetlands remove pollutants by settling and by pollutant uptake by vegetation. Grass swales are commonly called ditches as they are generally located adjacent to streets and parking lots and are designed primarily to transport stormwater. Grass swales infiltrate and slow down runoff and provide some pollutant removal by settling and filtering. Vegetated buffers are also found along streets and parking lots and are designed to transport runoff. However, unlike grass swales, the depth of runoff flowing across vegetated buffers is very shallow, which allows for greater infiltration and pollutant removal. Sand filters are excavated basins backfilled with sand. Runoff is temporarily stored on top of sand filters for 12 to 24 hours as the runoff slowly infiltrates through the sand filter material. Pollutants are removed as the runoff moves through the sand filter. Most sand filters also have an underdrain beneath the sand layers to allow clean storm water to re-enter the storm sewer. Bioretention, also known as porous landscape detention or rain gardens, are excavated basins backfilled with a special mix of sand, compost, and other materials that promote vegetation growth. They act similar to sand filters in that pollutants are removed as the runoff filters through the media. Additional pollutant removal is also provided by the roots of the vegetation. And bioretention cells may or may not have an underdrain system. Permeable pavements are special pavements designed to allow stormwater runoff to infiltrate through the pavement. Several types of permeable pavement are used in Colorado, including porous asphalt, pervious concrete, and permeable interlocking concrete pavers, or PICP for short, and all have layers of rock or sand underneath. Permeable pavements allow stormwater to infiltrate back into the groundwater and also filter pollutants as the runoff travels through the various layers of rock and sand. If you are unable to identify the BMP based on the pictures and descriptions provided, you can obtain the drainage design report for your property. This report, as with plat maps, may also be obtained from your local municipality. The drainage design report will identify and describe the type of BMPs used on your property. As a last resort, you can contact your local stormwater manager and request assistance by a stormwater inspector to help identify BMPs. The next step is to identify the required maintenance activities for your BMPs. Each BMP has unique and specific maintenance activities associated with it, so it is important to obtain a maintenance activity list specific to the type of BMP you have. First, you should check to see if a BMP maintenance manual was provided to you by the developer or the design engineer at the time of construction. This manual will provide instructions regarding the types and frequency of maintenance to be performed for your specific BMP. If a maintenance manual was not provided to you, check your local stormwater page for BMP maintenance documents. Many Colorado municipalities provide standard operating procedures and checklist forms for BMP activities on their stormwater websites. After obtaining a BMP maintenance manual, standard operating procedure, or checklist, you should develop and implement a plan for performing maintenance activities. BMP maintenance activities can be categorized as routine and non-routine. Routine maintenance, such as sediment removal from inlets and forebays, trash and debris removal from outlet structures, and removal of unwanted vegetation, may have to be performed at least once per year. These activities can generally be performed by non-professional personnel using typical household equipment such as shovels, wheelbarrows, and rakes. You may want to organize a BMP cleanup day with community members or co-workers to help perform these activities. Alternatively, It may be cost effective to have your landscape contractor perform these activities as part of their regular landscaping activities. However, most landscape contractors are not familiar with BMP maintenance, so you will have to educate them on the specific maintenance tasks and frequency of performing them. The Colorado Stormwater Center retains a list of landscape contractors and other personnel who successfully completed a special course on proper BMP maintenance. This list can be found on the Colorado Stormwater website under the Resources tab. Non-routine activities such as sediment removal from basins, major vegetation removal, and structural repairs will require specialized equipment and the expertise of a stormwater engineer. Non-routine maintenance activities can be quite expensive. Fortunately, these costs can be avoided or delayed by performing routine maintenance activities properly. Lastly, it is important to document and report BMP maintenance activities. BMP maintenance records should include a description of the maintenance activities performed, the date activities were performed, and the estimated costs. These records can help predict the timing and costs of future maintenance activities and may be requested by the local stormwater agency as proof that the BMP is being adequately maintained. In addition, some municipalities require that BMP maintenance records be submitted to the municipality annually. This requirement will be recorded in the development agreement for your property. If you are unsure if this requirement applies to you, ask your local stormwater manager. In review, it is important to remember that stormwater BMPs are in place to protect our lakes, rivers, and streams from flooding, stream bank erosion, and urban pollution. In order to operate properly, BMPs require regular maintenance, and it is the responsibility of the property owner to perform BMP maintenance activities. Developing and implementing a BMP maintenance plan requires 4 simple steps: identifying the type and location of BMPs on your property, identifying appropriate maintenance activities specific to those BMPs, performing maintenance activities with the assistance of community members, landscape contractors, and other specialized personnel, and keeping proper records of BMP maintenance activities, and submitting annual maintenance reports if necessary. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching. Please visit the Colorado Stormwater Center website for additional resources and training opportunities on BMP maintenance.